Tigers' final game in this series coming up, featuring the Tigers and the New York Yankees. And we remind you that if the Tigers combine for 3 or more home runs in this game, bring a copy of the box score to a participating Arby's location tomorrow and get a free small order of curly fries. Here is the starting lineup for the Yankees this afternoon, presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Jeter, Swisher, Cano at the top. They have Teixeira in the middle. Eric Chavez at third. Curtis Granderson had a big day yesterday in center field. Ibanez, Suzuki, and Stewart rounded out for the Yankees. Starting pitcher today for the Tigers, Doug Fister, presented by Soaring Eagle Casino.
He checks in with 6 wins and 7 losses. The ERA continues to inch its way down. Doug has had 5 quality starts in a row in which he's only given up more than 1 run in 1 of those starts.
So Fister ready to go to work. A bit of a delay to the start of this one here this afternoon because of some rain moving through the area. Derek Jeter leads it off. And here's the first pitch of today's ball game. It's a ball high and away, 1-0. Jeter, Swisher, and Cano. Happy to have you with us this afternoon. Tigers wrap up this homestand today. There's a ground ball hit to second, back towards Santiago, and 1 gone.
Let's take a peek at the rest of the defense for the Detroit Tigers here this afternoon. You've got Dirks in left, Quentin Berry getting the start in center field, Austin Jackson at least the beginning of this one off. Brendan Bosch is in right. Fielder Santiago, Peralta, Infante in the infield, and Alex Avila is catching the day game here.
Infante getting another start at third base. Miguel Cabrera's ankle still a little bit crispy, and Jim Leland said this day off should get him fully ready and good to go for the road trip coming up. So Omar gets the call at third. Swisher the batter, and he looks at a strike, 0-1.
Miguel Cabrera has been very good at third base this year. But with the 3 infielders that they have in Infante, in Peralta, in Santiago, you have 3 guys that have played shortstop, so they'll cover a lot of ground. And Doug Fister, when he's on top of his game, he's throwing a lot of ground balls.
1 ball, 1 strike on Swisher. 5 for 11 in the series. 3 runs scored as well, and he waves and misses a big swing there. 1-2.
Good changeup there by Doug Fister, which means he's going to mix in all of his pitches very early. He's got the really good curveball. He's got a cutter. He's got a 2-seamer, and you just saw that changeup.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Busted him inside, and Swisher backs out of there. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
That is a nasty pitch. It had slider action to it, but it's really just a cutter that Fister features.
Doug apparently has not gotten any dry cleaning done on that hat in the meantime either. There's a ball that just missed outside, and the count fills now 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Players are funny like that. He will not get another hat until he starts to pitch poorly, and I don't expect him to start pitching poorly. Players are creatures of habit.
Robinson Cano waiting on deck. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Drilled to right field, but straight at Brennan Bosch, and there are 2 gone. Little ring of Robinson Cano. Wild ball game at the ballpark last night. If you tuned in or were at the ballpark, you saw 12 runs on 18 hits for the Yankees, 8 runs on 13 hits for the Tigers. Cano batting .316. A couple of RBIs in the series for the Yankees second baseman. And a line drive caught by the shortstop. Peralta, 1-2-3 inning for Doug Fister. We go to the bottom of the first. No score. Comerica Park. The Tigers starting lineup will feature a little bit of a different look at the top. It's presented by Big Boy. Quentin Berry will lead off in center field as Austin Jackson gets the day off. Dirks in left, Cabrera the DH today. Prince Fielder at first. Bosch is in right. Peralta playing short, and Leland's bottom three is Avila, Infante, and Santiago. Rookie Kuroda is the starting pitcher for the Yankees. He is presented by Bill Fox Chevrolet of Rochester.
Kuroda may be their hottest pitcher as we speak. He has won 7 of his last 9 decisions, and he's watched his ERA go from 4.5 all the way down to 3.19. He has 111 strikeouts, 36 walks, so he's going to be around the plate all afternoon long. Tim Hortons will sponsor the defensive alignment behind Kuroda this afternoon. It's Ibanez in left. It's a former Tiger. Curtis Granderson in center. Ichiro Suzuki's in right. Teixeira, Cano, Jeter, Chavez round out the infield. And Chris Stewart is getting his first start of the 4-game series behind the plate.
Russell Martin was behind the plate. And it'll be Stewart getting the call here this afternoon to wrap up the series. He will catch Kuroda. And here's Quentin Berry leading it off for Detroit. Berry, Dirks, and Miguel Cabrera, top 3 for Jim Leland today. Quentin batting .282, just a couple of at-bats in the series, 0 for 2. And a bouncing ball hit back up the middle. Jeter ranging left, and Berry on one pitch is retired. We'll bring up Andy Dirks.
Andy Dirks is back in that familiar slot, that number 2 slot. That's the spot that he occupied before going on the disabled list. And boy, has he been on fire since coming off the DL. That patented short, quick swing, never overswinging, going foul line to foul line. And when you do what Dirks has done, that's how you hit well above 300.
So Dirks continues to swing it. He is not really slowed down at all. And he looks at strike 1 from Kuroda.
347 to be exact as far as the batting average is concerned with Andy Dirks.
He is absolutely mashed right-handed pitching this year. 374 clip against righties. And Dirks right now sporting a 6-game hitting streak. 1 ball, 1 strike. Kuroda has that hesitation in his delivery. And it's fouled straight back 1-2. Kuroda, 37 years old, out of Osaka, Japan, 6'1", 205. Signed a 1-year free agent deal with the New York Yankees in January. And boy, they really needed him with some of the injuries they've had. Here's the 1-2. Off the plate. Didn't go. Tim Welke said he held up. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Dirks. And a strike called. Got him looking. Dirks took 1 too many that time, and there are 2 gone. First strikeout of the ball game for Kuroda.
Told you that Kuroda does not walk very many. Therefore, Stewart, the catcher, was either on the inside part of the plate or the outside part of the plate. And on that last delivery from Kuroda, the needle was threaded with a fastball inside.
Here is Miguel Cabrera. 3 for 12 in the series. 2 of those hits, though, are home runs. Here's Kuroda's 0-1. Cabrera fouls it off. Back into the dugout. No balls, 2 strikes. Miguel has that front ankle protected. We talked about the fact that he's been hobbled a little bit, but the numbers don't seem to indicate he's hurt. He just goes out there day in and day out. It's more of an annoyance to Cabrera than anything else. The 0-2 way high, and all the way to the backstop it goes. And a leaping play by Miguel Cabrera.
He's a clown.
That's the biggest round of applause he'll get all day.
He's our clown now. Mickey got some hops.
That is classic. Intercepted. That pass was intended for Stewart. There's a ground ball base hit. He's doing it all.
He's got 1 rebound. He's got 1 hit. He's on his way to a triple-double. How do you explain these numbers in 39 career games against arguably some of your better players in all of baseball every year, the Yankees?
Hard to explain other than the fact that he's Miguel Cabrera. It's probably the best explanation. 349 against the Yanks. 11 RBIs in 9 games this year. Here's Prince Fielder. And Prince looks at a strike on the outer edge, 0-1. Skies remain cloudy here today. The ballpark took a lot of rain early this morning, but hopefully it's moved out long enough to get this game in. .312 batting average for Prince. The 0-1. High, 1 ball, 1 strike. As you can see, the lights are on. They will remain on the rest of the day, I would imagine. Fielder on the homestand, 10 for 21. Trying to pick up Cabrera here with 2 outs in the first inning. And he fouls it straight back. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Prince.
If Prince wasn't loose before that swing, he's loose now.
And it looks like he's hobbled a little bit. He's slow to getting back in the box.
Tweaked that left ankle, it looked like.
1-2 the count.
But this is what much we do know. Prince is not coming out of any game.
Lifted foul down the left field line, back into the seats.
If he didn't come out of the game when we were in Boston after he had doubled and then he was trying to get back on a pickoff from the pitcher and the ball hit him right in the helmet, square in the helmet. He stayed in the game after that. He's not coming out.
That has been Prince's MO. He plays literally every day. And Fielder has that consecutive game streak going. He's played in 293 straight games, counting this afternoon. And a ground ball off the pitcher. It'll roll to the third baseman. Barehanded play by Chavez, but he couldn't hold on to it. Now Cabrera is out at second. He took the turn too wide and couldn't get back. Yankees get a break there. Cabrera out at second base, and the inning is over. No runs, a couple of hits for Detroit, and they'll lead 1. Still no score in this one as Doug Fister goes back to the hill. We go to the top of the second, and Mark Teixeira leads it off for the Yankees. It'll be Teixeira, Chavez, and then Granderson. Fister had a 9-pitch 1-2-3 first inning. As they continue to employ the shift on Teixeira. Santiago way to the grass in right. Here's the 0-2. Fister missing outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Teixeira 4 for 12 in the series. He's knocked in a couple. Wave and a tip into the glove for strike 3.
Let's take one more look at that last play that ended the half inning by the New York Yankees. Let me tell you exactly what Cabrera was thinking here. After the ball hit off the pitcher, Kuroda, once Cabrera gets to second base, now he's at second base. He can see that Derek Jeter is right here in his view, but what he forgot is Derek Jeter's a very heads-up player, and he's entertaining the thought of going to third, but Derek Jeter's 1 step ahead of him. Therefore, Miguel got caught in no man's land, and Cano snuck in behind him, and then they get the out. There are some shortstops that may have not been as alert as Derek Jeter was there, and Cabrera would have been able to get to third base.
And there have been plenty of examples over the years about how alert Derek Jeter is. And some of the key players and plays that he has made, and Cabrera pointing at Prince and saying, sorry, buddy. Prince says, don't worry about it. Eric Chavez, the batter. 2 balls, 1 strike. Chavez having a heck of a series. 7 for 12 with 4 RBIs. He sends a ground ball to the right side under the glove of Santiago, and the big series continues for the veteran Chavez. First hit of the game for the Yankees. Now a guy who had a big game yesterday, Curtis Granderson, who struggled in the first 2 games in the series, but he broke out last night.
Well, their manager, Joe Girardi, he simply took Curtis Granderson out of that leadoff spot where he was the first 2 days, and he put him down in that number 6 slot, and Curtis drove in 4 yesterday.
It's funny because when Curtis was with the Tigers, all we ever talked about was this guy is probably going to be a better middle of the lineup hitter. And Girardi put him in the leadoff slot because he had pretty good on-base percentage against right-handed hitters, but has since dropped him, and the results were really good last night. The 0-1 is inside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Curtis has hit 71 home runs since the beginning of the 2011 season. No player in the majors has hit more home runs than Curtis since 2011 began.
Anderson, originally a 3rd-round pick of Detroit, spent 6 years wearing Tigers colors.
And 25 of the 71 home runs off left-handed pitching.
The 2-1 is popped up left side of the infield. The shortstop Peralta. 2 gone, and Chavez holds up at first base. Hey, a reminder, this game is available in high definition on Fox Sports Detroit HD, sponsored by Xfinity from Comcast. Here's Raul Ibanez. Not a whole lot going on this series for Ibanez. 0 for 6, although he has walked a couple of times. We were talking last night about how the Yankees have the oldest average age for their roster, 31 years old. Ibanez is one of those guys that'll bring that number up a little bit. Takes way outside.
They're role players, guys like Ibanez, guys like Chavez, guys like Andrew Jones, we have not seen in this series. At one point in time, they were superstars in the game. Well, not superstars, but really, really good players.
Yeah, pretty close. Ibanez turned 40 this year.
Andrew Jones was a superstar when he was playing for the Atlanta Braves, winning all those Gold Gloves and hitting all those home runs.
Whole lot of experience sitting on the bench. Strike called on Raul Ibanez.
It's a good fastball there by Doug. 89 miles an hour. got some late life on that ball. Ibanez saw that it was going to be inside and gave up on it, and he was able to hit Avila's glove.
Just barely getting a piece of it, and it nailed the home plate umpire, Todd Titchener. And they're calling for Kevin Rand. That may have got him in the throat. And apparently right under the mask of the home plate ump. Ooh. So Titchener's all right. Got that little piece that hangs down from the mask, but not even that could stop that ball from climbing under. 2-2 the count on Raul Ibanez. No score, second inning. Final game in this series. The Tigers win today, and they will have taken 3 out of 4. That's drilled to center field. Barry is on the run, still going back. It is over his head, and to the wall it goes. That'll get a run in. And Ibanez motoring all the way to third with a triple. That ball just kept picking up steam. 1-0 Yankees.
That looked like a little cut fastball that really didn't do a whole lot, and it was right over the outstretched glove of Quentin Berry in center field. Ibanez has 69 hits this year, and he has drove in 50 runs with the 69 hits.
It's major production. Here is Ichiro. He's batting .260. 3 hits, 3 RBIs in the series for Ichiro. Slaps one toward left field, base hit. That'll get another run in. Classic Ichiro Suzuki right there. Little soft serve to left, and that scores Ibanez.
He and Ibanez may be a little older these days, but they're still quality big league players.
Ibanez, when he hit that ball to the wall, was moving really good around the bases.
It's a change up there, and Ichiro with that patented swing, just able to reach out and get a piece of it.
34th RBI of the season for Ichiro, his 4th in this series. 2-0 Yankees had the lead. And Ichiro always a threat to run. He has 18 more stolen bases this year. Chris Stewart, the batter. Stewart batting .260 in his 3rd stint with the Yankees in his career. There's a strike call. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, we mentioned the Yankees have a lot of age on them, and some of that age has come through in this series. Chavez had the base hit. Ibanez knocking one in, and Ichiro as well. The 1-1.
Suzuki and Pfister were teammates in Seattle, so Ichiro understands, and he also knows that Doug Pfister really does not give base stealers the opportunity to get good jumps when they're on first base.
Fouled off. And that time Avila took the brunt of that foul ball. Right on the knee.
Avila will be in that cold pool after the game today, as he is every day, regardless of the temperature outside.
Low and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Have you ever been in one of those cold pools, cold dips?
I have not, no. Then again, I'm not taking the foul balls that Avila does throughout the course of the year. Invigorating, I would assume.
It is. They're very hard to get into, but once you get in them,
I can imagine.
You feel great when you get out.
There's a flare toward right field. It is sinking, and it's a fair ball. He dumps it down the line. Ichiro will get to third, and the Yankees now have him at the corners. Stewart with a bloop single.
No chance for Santiago to get to this bloop single. He was way over toward second base. Bosch couldn't get to it either by the time they pick it up. And runners on first and third.
So that's going to keep the inning going now for Derek Jeter. And after a snappy 9-pitch 1-2-3 first, the Yankees have 2 runs on 4 hits here in the second. A little bit outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Jeter bounced out in the first inning, starting the ball game. He's 0 for 1. Derek still needs 5 hits to get to 150 hits this year, which would make it 17 consecutive seasons that he's done that. Which would tie him with Hank Aaron. Marching toward 200 hits for the year. He's done that 7 times in his career. And that's why he has over 3,000. Checked it that time, missed it outside. And when you look at the hit leaders in the American League, you expect Cabrera to be up there. He is, but Jeter, at the age of 38, leading the league with 145. And again, Fisker missing. The count goes to 3-1.
What a nice luxury to have if you're Joe Girardi, the manager of the Yankees. Your middle infielders both on pace to get 200 hits.
That is not something you see very often. Little chopper hit towards short. Peralta on the charge. His throw is in time to end the inning. But the Yankees get a pair, and we go to the bottom of the second. Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank. Strength and stability since 1849. Chrysler, now take advantage of the great deals at the Chrysler Summer Clearance Event. And by Healthy Choice, don't diet, live healthy. Cloudy, overcast day, rainy day here in the Motor City, but the rain has moved out long enough for us to get this thing going. And as we go to the bottom of the second, the Yankees now have a 2-0 lead as Raul Ibanez had a big RBI triple. Lights on here in downtown Detroit at the ballpark. It'll be Bosch, Peralta, and Avila here in the second, facing Hiroki Kuroda. Big series for Bosch, 5 for 11, couple of RBIs, couple of runs scored. In there for a strike from Kuroda. Bosch on the homestand batting .375. Looks at a ball high, 1 ball and 1 strike. Nine hits on the current homestand for Brennan. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Popped up foul back behind home plate, and back into the seats it goes.
Kuroda, he's got some really good command. And take a look at the catcher here, Stewart, setting up inside, and Kuroda hits that glove.
Kuroda has gone 7 straight starts with 1 walk or less.
And when you don't have the overpowering stuff, if you can't get up to 95, 96, you can't afford to make mistakes over the heart of the plate, and Kuroda hasn't made any yet.
2-2. Game winner last year with the Dodgers. He lost 16 though, which is on the surface not a good year, but then you look at his ERA, 3.07, pointing to a lack of run support in those 16 losses. 2-2 the count, and Bosch foul tips it, still alive if Stewart is unable to hold on to it. Tigers on the homestand really swinging the bats. 361 on this homestand, which has Lloyd McClendon very happy, and hopefully that'll continue in a good hitter's ballpark beginning tomorrow night in Texas when they take on the Rangers. That'll get back toward the seats. '16 of 18 wins here at home since July the 4th. And why, do you ask? Well, look at the offense.
Averaging over 6 runs a game. They've hit 25 home runs and 337 with runners in scoring position.
Jim Leland will also tell you it's due in part as well to the starting pitching they've got last night notwithstanding. There's a strikeout as Bosch goes down swinging.
The Tigers battled the Baltimore Orioles August 17th through 19th in a 3-game weekend series at Comerica Park. Tickets are still available. Call 866-66-TIGER or visit Tigers.com. The Baltimore Orioles are one of the best road teams in all of baseball.
I'm a little surprised that here we are in August and they're just 4.5 back. Yankees at one point had a huge lead not too long ago of 10 games. Now it's down to 4.5 with the Orioles in second place.
And Buck Showalter is getting the most out of that roster that he has at his disposal in Baltimore. They haven't had many winning seasons lately either. We were talking about the Pittsburgh Pirates and how long it's been since they've had a winning season. Baltimore hasn't had much to cheer about.
You talk about the Athletics not having many difference makers or superstars in their lineup. I guess the same could be said for the Orioles. That's rolled to third base, off to his left. Chavez has it, and Peralta's out.
Yeah, the Orioles have one, and that would be Adam Jones. Also, Matt Wieters has a chance to be a really good player.
That's a good point. That's 2. Markakis is a solid guy. Wouldn't say he's a superstar, but their pitching doesn't really have that one guy that makes you say, all right, here's our ace. He can go shut you down and win for us tonight. Here's Avila with 2 outs. Well, they're getting it done. Alex has hit safely in 9 straight.
This looks like it's going to be one of those afternoons where the Tigers hitters to a man need to go up there and either look inside or look outside. And because the kind of command that Kuroda has displayed so far here today, you cannot cover the entire plate and really have success. You go up there, and if you think he's going to come inside, when he does come in there, you don't miss it. And likewise with the pitches away.
Well, he's going to 2-0 on Alex. They'll set up outside here. And it nips the corner, make it 2 balls and 1 strike on Avila, who is now just 3 shy of his all-time high hitting streak of 12 in a row that he established last August. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Make it 2-2 on Avila. Infante batting in the 8th slot in this one today. He's been all over the lineup. An 8th, been 9th, and 2nd. There's a ground ball to second base. Cano 2 steps to his right. And a 1-2-3 inning for Kuroda. You're watching Tigers baseball this afternoon, presented by Bell Tire. Arby's. Play Arby's new Snap and Rock promotion. Snap a picture of your cup, send and win. And by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. Well, the Tigers down 2-0. That's our score. As some dads bringing their sons to the ballpark. Can't beat that. Despite the rain and the cloudy skies here today, we're playing baseball, and we love Fox Sports Detroit as well. And you for bringing that sign to the ballpark. Swisher leads it off against Pfister here in the 3rd. And the first pitch from Doug is in for a strike. He threw just 9 pitches in the 1st inning and 31 in the 2nd. So want to get back to that 1st inning mode. Way inside. Back to the backstop. It goes 1-1. Swisher takes a breaking ball and bangs it foul down the first base line. And under the tarp. To your left. To your left.
Don't fall on the field.
Here's the 1-2. Ball inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. He figured it out yet? No. Oh, it's so close, and he has no idea that he's trying to move the tarp. Go down there and help him, Rod.
I can't move it either.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. Right back to the shortstop on a line and caught by Peralta. Let's go back to the studio now. Time for a game break with Justin White. All right, Justin, thank you. Here it's 2-0. The Yankees got a couple of runs in the top of the second. Here's Robinson Cano. He lined out to Peralta his first time up. And he looks at ball 1 high. Pfister, in 4 of his last 5 starts, has given up 1 earned run. That's why his ERA has begun to plummet. 3.52 coming into play today. But he gave up a 2 spot in the second.
Jeff Jones said that breaking ball that we just witnessed there to Robinson Cano is one of the biggest reasons why Pfister is pitching somewhat like he pitched last year when the Tigers made the deal to bring him over from the Seattle Mariners. That curveball has been outstanding lately.
Well, here's our Farmers Insurance report card on Doug Pfister. We talked about the success that he had in his last 5 starts coming into this one here today. Quality start in all of them, an ERA of 1.62.
Racking up quite a few strikeouts, 37 of those, and Doug is not really known as a strikeout pitcher.
Cano fouls it off.
You've got a couple of guys today in Kuroda and also Pfister, guys that don't get much above 93 miles an hour, but they've got tremendous movement on all their pitches. They change speeds very well, and they keep the ball out of the middle of the plate.
Kuroda 2 scoreless so far in this game for the Yankees. Cano slaps another one to the shortstop. Peralta has had a busy afternoon so far. 2 gone. Now Mark Teixeira.
The scouting report that Peralta was given on Cano and also Swisher was a very good one. He did move, and both players hit it right at him.
For 1 for Teixeira. And a bouncing ball to the right side to the outfield grass. Santiago flips him out, and it's a 1-2-3 inning when the Tigers come up in the bottom of the 3rd, and Fonte will start things off. one as we go to the bottom of the third here at the ballpark today. And we remind you to join Craig Monroe for a Twitter chat during the 4th and 5th innings this afternoon. Be part of the conversation at #AskSimo. That's Tigers Twitter chat with Craig Monroe during the 4th and 5th innings today, which is, as you know, right around the corner as we go to the bottom of the third. So get your Twitter accounts ready and ask Simo. That's the hashtag. Simo looking sharp in that photo.
Every day.
Here's Omar Infante. He'll lead things off, and Santiago and then Berry. First pitch a little bit outside to Omar. Omar got in the action last night late in the ball game, hit a home run in the 8th inning, which brought the Tigers to within 2 runs. There's a strike called. 1-1 from Kuroda. Infante is hit safely at 9 straight now. And the bouncing ball hit slowly towards short. Jeter on the charge, and it's not in time. Infield hit. Make it 10 straight for Infante.
Derek Jeter tried to get over and surround this ball and make it easier for himself to get the ball over to Teixeira. And it looked like he kind of got crossed up there with his feet and ended up throwing the ball off the right foot, mishandling the ball, trying to get a grip as well, and couldn't get enough on the throw to get Infante, who was past the bag once the ball got into the glove of the first baseman, Mark Teixeira.
Infante was smelling hit. And he has one. Leadoff man aboard. Here is Santiago. Ramon takes the ball outside. 1-0. It is Santiago at second base today. It's Infante at third. Cabrera DHing. Ramon in the series 0 for 4.
Well, if Jim's in the mood today to put on a hit and run, this would be the perfect count to do so. And you have the perfect participants to carry it out. That would be an Infante and also Santiago in a really nice hitter's count. And Joe Girardi on the other side thinking along those same lines, a former catcher. And knowing the situation, he relayed to the catcher Stewart to throw over.
The 1-0 pitch is a strike on the outer edge. 1-1. Like he got the call that time.
He also quick pitched Santiago.
That one looked way wide. That time he came inside, missed it low. 2-1 on Ramon. Kuroda spent 11 years pitching professionally in Japan, his native country, and won 103 ball games over in Japan before coming stateside. The 2-1 outside, 3 balls, 1 strike, and now he is creating a problem for himself. Berry waiting on deck. Tigers got a couple of hits but failed to score in the first. Now an infield single by Infante here in the third. Fouled straight back. 3-2 on the number 9 hitter Ramon Santiago. We talked about this a little bit last night, Rod. 6 through 9 has really gotten it done.
It's one of the reasons why the Tigers have had a very good homestand. At the bottom of that batting order is finally perked up. Helping out Jackson, helping out Miggy, also Prince.
And another bluff to first base. 3-2 on Santiago.
If you're Infante here and Jim has you running on a 3-2 pitch, you need to get a really good jump.
Runner goes, swing and a miss, throw down and out at second base, and that is the worst thing that could possibly happen.
He did not get a very good jump, and Kuroda very quick to the plate. Santiago swings right through it, and Infante dead duck down there for Derek Jeter to apply the tag.
The old strike him out, throw him out. That'll be the third strikeout of the game for Kuroda. Here's Barry. And Q looks at a strike. He bounced out back in the first inning. .281 batting average for the Tigers leadoff man. 1 ball, 1 strike. One and two. Here is Kuroda's 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Barry is gone, and just like that, the Tigers' third is over. That's 4 punch-outs for Kuroda. Inning now at Comerica Park. Doug Fister back to the hill, and he will face Eric Chavez, who started their 2-run rally in the second with a base hit. And Chavez looks at a strike. And Eric's big series continues. 8 for 13 against Tigers pitching over the last 4 days. Here's the 0-1. Granderson, then Ibanez to follow in the Yankee fourth. Here is Fister's 0-2. A little bit outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Eric Chavez has found the fountain of youth, and he is playing the last 3 days here at Comerica Park like he played when he was a youngster, and when he was starring for the Oakland Athletics.
Slow ground ball to second, and Santiago has plenty of time. 1 gone. Remember Game 5 of the ALDS last year?
Nothing like playoff baseball, and Doug Fister got a taste of that in Game 5 last year. Take a look at these fans. There's nothing like it.
Is he going to cry?
It is a beauty. I love it.
Oh. Fister went 5 innings, Struck out 4. Tigers won that game and then moved on in the playoffs. There's a strike called on Granderson. Curtis popped up 0 for 1 in the game. He has 3 hits in the series. They came yesterday, including a homer. Bender that floats inside. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Here's a strike. 1-2.
This is nice tight curveball by Pfister. And he's had a good one all day long.
In tight again. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Inside one more time. 3-2 on Granderson. Ibanez waiting on deck. 1 gone. We're in the 4th. 2-0 Yanks. Breaking ball, tap foul. Count remains full. Swing and a miss, and down he goes. Second strikeout for Pfister. Ibanez in our game summary got it going in the 3rd, or the 2nd, I should say, with a triple.
And then you had Ichiro Suzuki following that up with a solid single the opposite way to drive in the 2nd run in the only 2 runs that have been driven in today.
So 2 outs here is Ibanez, who now has 50 driven in, and he lines one toward left field. That's going to get down extra bases to the wall. Ibanez motoring to 2nd, and he will pull in with a double to go with his triple. Another extra base hit for the Yankees, their 5th hit of the game.
Anytime Doug Pfister is on the mound and you're an opposing hitter, you know beyond a shadow of a doubt that you're going to get something pretty close to the plate on the very first pitch. Doug throws lots of strikes and a lot of first pitch strikes.
Ichiro was up there. He slapped one to left field his first time up, knocking in a run. Fourth RBI of the series for Ichiro. 34 for the year now in the RBI column. There's the ball inside. 2-0 the count.
Doug's got 2 outs. He's got a base open. It may not be all bad just to allow Ichiro to trot down to first base and go after the right-handed batter Stewart, the number 9 hitter in the on-deck circle. Even though Stewart has a bloop single in the game.
It may not be a bad idea. The Yankees' bottom 3 is 4 for 4 with 2 RBIs in this game. There's a strike call. 2-1. Stewart on deck. Checked it, missed it high. 3-1 on Ichiro. Swing and a miss. 3-2. And he lost him, so Ichiro will walk to first base. A couple of base runners now with 2 outs. Well, we're going to call them veterans instead of old guys, but here are what some of the veterans have done in this series, and they have really produced. Oldest team in the major leagues right now, averaging 191 days and 31 years. So they've got some guys that have been around, played a lot of games. And a lot of damage in this series, especially Chavez. There's a ground ball back up the middle. Johnny has it, flips to second for the force, and that'll end the inning. No runs, a double, a walk. 2 men left for the Yankees. Now for the AT&T trivia question, which Tiger has the most 30 home run seasons in team history? Well, I mean, there are some people you could guess. Al Kaline would be a good guess. Miguel Cabrera needs one more for 30 this year. There's Cabby. He'll be batting second in this inning. So we'll get you that answer in a little bit. Think about that for a while. Dirks Cabrera, fielder here in the 4th inning for Detroit. Two runs, 5 hits for the Yankees. Tigers, no runs, 3 hits. Andy struck out looking back in the 1st inning against Kuroda. And he pops it up foul, back out of play. 0-1. Dirks a 6-game hitting streak. Hey, that young man's got himself a souvenir and a fist pump.
Got a sweet lid on too.
Ball inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's Kuroda's 1-1. Inside. 2 balls, 1 strike on Dirks. A lot of depth these days in the Tigers outfield. So Leland will use them all. There's a ground ball, base hit the other way.
I see you, Andy.
This is his 6th hit in this series.
Well, Miguel Cabrera has 5 home runs this year against Yankee pitching, and there has been nothing cheap about any of them.
And here are the distances and his home runs against the Yankees this year.
As far as he's hitting those balls, he's going to have to call and get a new long distance plan. He's going to run out of minutes.
466 was one of the ones he hit on June 2nd to dead center field. He's beaten up on those bushes and the shrubbery out there in center.
Never ever has anyone seen a right-handed batter hit the balls as far as he does to straightaway center field.
Camera guys beware.
Big boy territory.
Here's the 1-0. And he's in a spot right now where he can tie this thing up with one swing. The Yankees have a 2-0 lead as we play here in the fourth. Here's the 2-0. Sounded like a broken bat.
It's a good pitch by Kuroda, and really that's where you have to pitch Miguel. You have to pitch him inside, and you have to go in there aggressively, as Kuroda did there on the 2-0 pitch.
That's exactly the area that he has protected, the front of that left foot, the ankle, the shin area. And he took another direct shot, and he is slowly getting back into the box. Just when you think you might get over the hump on one of those injuries, you tweak it again. That was more than a tweak. Here's the 2-1. That's in the air. Shallow left field. Jeter, the shortstop, going back, and he'll get there for the out. One gone. Dirks back to first base. Time now for the Ace Hardware Scott's fan poll question of the game. Of these four, who is the best power hitter in Tigers history, in your opinion? Is it A, Hank Greenberg, B, Al Kaline, C, Cecil Fielder, or D, Miguel Cabrera? You can enter your vote by texting ACE followed by a space and the letter answer to 37338. Final results postgame during Tigers Live.
Real good question today.
And a tough one to pick. Here's Hank's number 5. Here is Prince Fielder. Fielder had a single back in the first inning.
A couple more years, and we might have Prince be a part of that last poll question.
He skies this one in the air, left side of the infield. Chavez. And so Kuroda's able to get the two big guys in the middle of the lineup. 2 gone.
And both Prince and also Miggy. Kuroda made outstanding pitches to tie both batters up with good fastballs inside.
So we'll see what Bosch can do. Kuroda has surrendered 4 hits to this point, no runs. He struck Bosch out back in the second. One ball to no strikes on Brennan. Kuroda came into this game with a very low ERA of 3.19. And he's had some games where he's been fairly dominant. In fact, he's allowed 1 earned run or less in 9 of his starts this year.
He has won 7 of his last 9. And probably their hottest pitcher right now.
The 1-0. Strike call as he paints the corner. Well, here are the last 4. That's awfully good.
3 walks in 28 in the 3rd innings. 22 strikeouts to go along with the 3 free passes.
Line to left field. That ball's hit pretty well. It's going to go to the warning track, and Ibanez runs it down. Tigers get a leadoff single, but strand him. 4 in the books. Jeter, Swisher, Cano coming up. Yankees. What do you think so far about Hiroki Kuroda? He's been pretty good. He's held the Tigers off the board so far in this game, and as advertised, he's been pretty good.
Well, he's only given up a few hits in the game. For the most part, he's been able to keep the ball out of the middle of the plate. He sinks the fastball. He runs the fastball. Nice little breaking ball, little splitter. Tigers haven't figured him out yet.
Doug Fister had that 30-pitch second inning, so maybe not quite as sharp as we've seen him over the past couple of starts, but still pretty good today.
Well, when you go up against the Yankees, you nearly have to be perfect with the kind of offense that they will run at you. They can beat you in a lot of different ways, and most of the time when they are beating you, they're trotting around the base path. So it's good for Doug that he has kept the damage to a minimal so far here today. In the way the Tigers offense has been playing, they can most definitely come back in this game.
Well, here is Derek Jeter leading it off in the 5th inning for the Yanks. They have the top of the lineup: Jeter, Swisher, and Cano facing Fister. Doug giving up the 2 in the second. He has allowed 5 hits overall in this game. Jeter 0 for 2, couple of ground balls, and he waves and misses. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 31-pitch second inning, and that has been the longest of the day for Doug. Otherwise, pretty good. And the 1-2, way outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Tigers also announced before the game today that Don Kelly has cleared waivers and was outrighted to AAA Toledo, so he remains in the Tigers organization. He was designated for assignment a few days ago. Now Fister with the 2-2 pitch. 3-2 on the leadoff man Jeter.
Well, that means we will probably see Don Kelly again once rosters expand in September. We know how fond Jim Leyland is of Don Kelly and his ability to play multiple positions.
I would think that is a good possibility, and before the game today, the subject of September call-ups was brought up with Leyland in his press conference, and Jim said, well, we really haven't discussed it a whole lot, he and Dave Dombrowski, that is. But one thing you can probably rest assured, he said, is that we'll probably bring another catcher up. Right now the Tigers with Avila and Laird. 3-2 is on the ground, back up the middle into center field, out of the reach of Santiago. Another hit for Derek Jeter. 6 in the series, his first today.
Little cut fastball. Santiago stretches out for it but can't knock it down. The ball trickles into center field. Q has to retrieve it.
Speaking of call-ups, I think different managers have different thoughts on how they like to do it. For Jim Leyland, he does not like to call a lot of guys up. He's always been one of those managers that if you're going to have him here, we want them to play, so he doesn't really want to clutter the clubhouse. There's a strike called on Swisher.
Also, Jim understands that he is going to have to play all of his big boys down the stretch because of the situation that they're going to find themselves in, fighting for the division and a wild card spot.
There's a strike call.
Now, could they run away with it? Yes, they could, but it doesn't look like it.
Well, and speaking of Don Kelly, he hit 2 big home runs down the stretch last year. He homered in the clinching game in Oakland, which clinched a playoff spot for the Tigers, and also in Game 5 in that ALDS against the Yankees. Here's the 0-2. Bender that bounces in 1-2. Swisher has hit the ball on a line twice. He's 0 for 2. Tigers have been out hit 6-4 in this game. Ball high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Swisher spent the first part of his career with the Athletics, 5 seasons with the A's. Spent 1 year in Chicago and then off to the Yankees. Floats outside. Swisher lays off. The count fills at 3-2.
Joe Girardi, the manager of the New York Yankees, finds himself in the same situation the Tigers found themselves in back in the third, 3-2 count. Do you allow the captain to take off, knowing that Swisher is prone to strike out?
Runner goes and is fouled away.
A little easier for Girardi to do, however, because he has a 2-run lead here in the fifth. But Derek is not getting a good jump off Pfister. And if Pfister is able to strike out Swisher, he'll have a really good shot. That would be Avila at throwing Jeter out at second.
Runner goes again, swing and a miss, and now Jeter puts on the brakes, going to try and get back. No such luck. Derek put the stop sign on and decided, I got no shot here, might as well try and get back.
Had Derek recognized earlier that the ball was getting swung through and missed by Swisher, if he stops earlier and gets back, right now he's able to get back, but he took a look in too long, and therefore he got himself in no man's land, and Prince Fielder able to apply the tag.
So just like that, they're empty now with 2 outs for Robinson Cano. And he fouls it off 0-1.
That was a really nice shot there as Peralta recognized the situation. He didn't go to the bag. He cut that ball off as it was coming to second base, understanding that Derek had stopped. And he was able to get the ball over to Prince to get the out.
And it's turned a potentially interesting inning to 2 outs, nobody on.
Here's Peralta. And he recognizes now that Jeter has stopped, so he just continues to run across the bag and continues to run toward first base and to give a firm feed to Prince.
Cano takes it outside, 1-2. 0 for 2 for Robinson Cano. Strokes this one toward the gap in left center field. That ball is hit well, and it goes to the base of the wall. Robinson Cano has himself a 2-out, 2-base hit. His first hit today, and for the Yankees, 6 on the board.
If there is a left-hander in the American League that has a sweeter swing than Robinson Cano, I don't know who he is.
He almost hit that ball out.
He's got some pop in that direction for sure.
Check the hit total on the Yankees. That's their 7th. And Cano by direction. He's all over the place. 2-out chance now for Mark Teixeira. 0 for 2 for Teixeira. Strikeout, ground out. That's in there. One of the things about the Yankees last night, they had 18 hits, which was a season high. 11 of those came with 2 outs. And they're trying to pick up a 2-out hit here to plate another run. They lead 2-0. And a bouncing ball to the right side. Right at Santiago. And that is that for the Yankees. No runs, 2 hits, 1 left. Tigers baseball today presented by Bell Tire. And here is the AT&T trivia question again. Which Tiger has the most 30 home run seasons in team history? And the answer would be Hank Greenberg. He's had 6 of them. Norm Cash had 5 of them along with Cecil. And Miguel Cabrera with 4 of them along with Rudy York. And Cabrera trying to become the first player in Detroit history with 5 straight 30 homer seasons. That should be a slam dunk. Meanwhile, Hiroki Kuroda is kind of cruising along. He's facing Peralta, Avila, and Fonte here in the 5th. Getting some early results on the poll question. The best power hitter in Tigers history, 2/3 so far feel that it's Miguel Cabrera. Here's the 2-0. Peralta looks at a strike, 2-1. Johnny's turned it up a notch in his last 33 games. He's had 21 RBIs, batting .283 in that stretch. Backed him out of there, 3-1. Kuroda's had a slim margin all afternoon. The Yankees got him 2 in the 2nd. They've not been able to add on. Driven to center field. Granderson on the run, not going to get it. This will go all the way to the wall. And Peralta will pull in with a 2-base hit. That'll get him going.
Johnny Peralta has been hitting so many balls to right center field that Curtis Granderson, even in a 3-1 count, was on the second base side of second base, and a 90-mile-per-hour fastball by Kuroda to Peralta was drilled in the left center, and Granderson couldn't run it down.
So here is Alex Avila. The Tigers now have 5 hits. They've gotten the leadoff man on in each of the last 3 innings. And Avila looks at strike 1. 61 now for Kuroda. Backed him out of there inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Swing and a miss. Vila last night had a big pinch hit. The Tigers got a couple of pinch hits late in that game when they were mounting their comeback in the 7th inning. Dirks had one. Avila had one. The Tigers got to within 1 run.
If you're Johnny Peralta at second base, once you take your lead, you have to understand that Derek Jeter is right behind you. And normally a ball hit right at you, you could get over to third base with nobody out, but you have to be really sure that Jeter can't get to it and throw you out at third base simply by where he's playing right now. You need to know where your infielders are playing.
Good block there by Stewart. It's the first time today, by the way, the Tigers have a man in scoring position. They've had 5 hits.
One of the responsibilities as a base runner on second, you have to see where the outfielders are playing, know where the middle infielders are playing.
And the 2-2. Low, 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Second consecutive hitter in this inning has worked himself into a really nice count to Peralta. was looking at a 3-1 count before doubling into left center field, and now Avila has got himself in a really nice count, making Kuroda work a little harder here in the 5th inning.
Kuroda has just gone to a 3-ball count for just the 2nd time this year. This game, I should say. That's drilled down the right field line. It is a fair ball and gone. And just like that, Alex Avila has tied this game. It's also a 10-game hitting streak for Avila.
A couple of outstanding at-bats, one by Peralta and then this one by Avila. That's an 85-mile-per-hour split-fingered fastball from Kuroda that had no tumbling action to it at all.
Two game, 2 batters into the 5th inning, a double and a home run, and the Tigers have tied this one up.
Bottom of that Tigers batting order, continuing to get it done on this current homestand.
Fonte looks at a strike, 1 ball and 1 strike. I gave you the numbers earlier. They were over 400, 6 through 9 in the lineup on the homestand. And they have added a 2-run shot by Avila. Their 6th hit of this game. Bouncing ball back up the middle. Jeter off to his left. And he just got him by half a step. First out of the inning. That's going to bring up the number 9 hitter, Ramon Santiago. Fans really haven't had a whole lot to cheer about here this afternoon. Until now. Santiago, a strikeout victim, back in the 3rd, 1 of 2 in that inning for Kuroda. Right back off of his glove, and that's going to be an infield hit.
The Tigers will battle the Baltimore Orioles Sunday, August 19th at 1:05. All kids 14 and under receive a Tigers player poster. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or log on to tigers.com.
Now Quentin Berry. 0 for 2 in this game for Berry. Kuroda in his last start lost 1-0 to Felix Hernandez. And he's just given up a 2-run homer here to Avila. First 2 runs he's allowed in this game. Santiago with the 3rd Tigers hit here in the 5th. Tigers coming into play today, won 16 of their previous 18 at home. They lost last night, but still an opportunity to win 3 out of 4 in this series and make it a tremendous homestand. Berry showing bunt. That'll pull Chavez in at 3rd. 1 ball, no strikes.
That's something we really have not seen Quentin do a whole lot of lately, and I think part of the reason is the third baseman. They're always about 5 steps in front of that third base bag, and I think Quentin a little reluctant into bunting the baseball because of that. But that is part of his game.
In for a strike. The Tigers and Jim Leland, Lloyd McClendon, everybody on the staff trying to make sure that Berry understands his job is to get on base. With the Thunder they have behind him in the lineup, they need him to find a way to get on, whether it's bunting, taking walks. He's had plenty of base hits since coming up. but he has to set the table. There's a ground ball to short. Jeter to his right, flips to second, one, no relay. 2 outs. And Berry at first base. That'll bring up Andy Dirks.
With 2 outs, Quentin Berry will be trying to get himself down into scoring position. For Andy Dirks, as hot as Dirks has been since coming off the disabled list, pretty good bet at driving the run in if Quentin's able to steal second base successfully.
And Quentin has known nothing but success in stealing bases. 15 for 15. Stewart is at about 17% in throwing runners out. That was coming in, and he got one earlier, so now he's up to 21%. He has caught 5 this year. He got Infante earlier in the game. 2-2 ball game. Dirks up there with a runner at first and 2 outs. We're in the 5th inning. In the air, slicing away from the left fielder, and foul. No, fair ball. He called it fouled unfair, and this will get a run in. Right on the line. Ibanez couldn't get there. He threw his arms up. It's Tim Welke down the third base line, and Joe Girardi's going to come out and talk about this. Don't know if it made a difference on whether or not Ibanez gave up on it.
You can see a little chalk flying on when that ball landed on the line. So regardless of what Tim Welke may have done, whether he initially called it foul or not, he appeared to get it right.
He definitely made the right call, and I agree. I don't think it makes a difference on whether or not that run would have scored.
And Joe might be out there arguing exactly what you just said, is possibly Ibanez gave up on the ball when you initially were undecided as to what you were going to call.
Yeah, but I don't think Ibanez saw the umpire's signal either way. I think he was going after the ball. So I don't think it made a difference. But Joe Girardi, I'm sure, is going to argue that. And off comes the cap. And when the cap comes off, you know what's usually next. If he keeps this up. Welke right now giving him some rope. It's 3-2 Tigers. They have taken the lead with a 3-run 5th. So Girardi continues his argument. He's got Bob Davidson out there with him as well, bending his ear. I mean, I can see what Girardi is arguing here. He clearly threw his hands up. The question is whether or not it had an effect on Raul Ibanez. And I don't think it did. But Girardi will say his piece, and now he's going to turn around and apparently head back to the dugout.
Well, Girardi has gotten exactly what he went out there to do, and that's to get the umpires to huddle and at least talk about it to see if anybody saw anything differently than what Tim Welke saw.
Here's the ball clearly hitting on the line. So there's no doubt it was fair or foul. It was a fair ball.
And Ibanez just flat out missed it initially.
So Welke is arguing that Girardi's arguing that Welke threw his hands up to signal foul, and now he's going to continue the argument. I'm not sure.
Well, Girardi doesn't want to stay in the game. He wants to go bye-bye.
And there he goes. Well, Welke has granted him his wish.
It's the third time this year that Joe Girardi has been kicked out of a game.
The Yankees have had 4 coaching ejections this season, all against Detroit. So the only thing Girardi's doing right now is prolonging the time of the game, because it's not going to change. And there goes the hat. And now Bob Davidson getting between him and Tim Welke.
Ironically enough, it was Bob Davidson who threw Girardi out this year when he threw him out for his second early exit.
Oh, now Girardi playing to the crowd. Oh, he's going to hear it now. So the Yankee skipper has been tossed. The Tigers have taken the lead 3-2. There goes the lineup card. Some final instructions. Tony Pena will take the card.
Well, Tony, former manager of the Kansas City Royals, and Tony's also managed quite a bit down in Dominican Republic in winter ball.
Meanwhile, Larry Rothschild will come out to the mound. And Tony Pena will take over the reins now. And meanwhile, Kuroda has been made to wait here. 2-run homer by Avila. And Dirks with a Blue double on the line.
Andy Dirks with 2 more hits today.
How about that? That'll give him 7 for the series. Now Kuroda has to gather himself and face that guy.
Last time Cabrera found himself in a real good hitter's count, 2 balls, 1 strike, and got crowded by a good fastball from Kuroda inside. He tied Miggy up and he popped up to the shortstop.
There's ball 1 to Cabrera. Girardi has been ejected 3 times, all against Detroit this year. Kevin Long has also been tossed out. That's the 4 that we gave you earlier, the 4 coaching ejections. Here's the 1-0. Cabrera fouls it straight back. 1 ball, 1 strike. So after 4 innings of not being able to get to Kuroda, the Tigers put up 3 here in the 5th. And if you count today's numbers, Cabrera now 4 for 8 career against Kuroda. 2 of those hits are home runs. Here's the 1-1. Right back up the middle. Cano has it. And Cabrera is out. However, some fireworks here in the 5th inning. The Yankees are down a manager and they're down a run. 3-2 is our score as we go to the 6th. Now as we go to the top of the sixth, and there are your two hitting heroes in that half inning. Avila, the 2-run shot. Dirks doubling in a run. And the Tigers now have 3 runs, 8 hits. Yankees have 2 runs, 7 hits. And for the Yanks, Eric Chavez leads it off against Doug Fister and looks at strike 1. Chavez, Granderson, Ibanez here in the Yankee sixth. Fister brings home the next, and it's bounced to second base. Santiago gobbles it up. 1 gone while we have a chance. Let's go back to the studio now for a game break. Here's Justin White. All right, Justin, thank you. Here, the Tigers have taken the lead with a 3-run fifth. Ball outside to Curtis Granderson, who is 0 for 2. And Granderson looks at a strike, 1-1 the count. Curtis a pop up and a ground out, or a strikeout, I should say. Pop up, strikeout. 3 hits, 4 RBIs yesterday, but quiet so far today. We'll shoot that one foul, back out of play. 1-2. Bernstein advantage brings you the scouting report on Curtis Granderson, the first Yankee with 30 homers as an outfielder in consecutive seasons since Dave Winfield back in the early 80s. And a strike call to the outer edge, and Grandy didn't like it.
Todd Tishner, yeah, pretty generous with that cut fastball that he called Curtis Granderson out on. Yeah, but Fister, no doubt, will take it.
Fox Tracks had that one a little bit off the edge, but Fister indeed will take it. We'll bring up Ibanez. And a bender that drops in for a strike. 3-2 Detroit. Yankees got a pair in the second. Tigers answer with 3 in the bottom of the 5th inning. Here's the 0-1. That time a little too far outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ibanez double and a triple in this game. His first 2 hits in the series to go with a couple of walks. Ball low, 2-1. Fister has pitched around the 2 runs he allowed in the second. Gave up a double in the 4th, no damage. Double in the 5th, no damage. Those each came with 2 outs. And a ground ball back up the middle. Santiago ranging right. Fister has a 1-2-3 6th inning. No runs, no hits, nobody left. On the way to the bottom of the 6th. 3-2 Detroit. Brought to you by Bell Tire. Get the lowest tire price, period. Bell Tire. And by Toyota. Brought to you by your Greater Detroit Toyota dealers. Cloudy, overcast day here in the Motor City. Plenty of rain fell earlier today, but it has stayed away long enough for us to go to the bottom of the 6th now. And the Tigers leading at 3-2. Hiroki Kuroda has gone 5 innings, allowing 8 hits, 3 runs, has not walked anybody. And he will face Prince Fielder to start things off. Fielder, Bosch, Peralta against the Yankees right-hander. And the Prince looks at a strike 0-1. Fielder today single and a pop-up. Fouled off, make it no balls, 2 strikes on Prince. Coming into this game today, Prince, since the All-Star break, was hitting at a 360 clip, and because of that, his average well over the 300 mark at 313 coming in. 4th in the AL with 81 RBIs, and he just continues to get it done with Miguel Cabrera. Ball high, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Octavio Dotel warming up in the Detroit bullpen. Fisker has thrown 101 pitches. Here's the 1-2. 2-2 on Prince.
Tigers trying to go 6-1 in back-to-back 7-game homestands against really good teams. White Sox and also the Angels were in here the last time the Tigers were at home, and they won 6 and lost 1. A win here today would put him right there again, 6-1.
Kuroda wanted the inside corner, didn't get it, 3-2. It's been impressive, and what the Tigers have been able to do at home this year has certainly kept them within striking distance, coming in just a half game behind the White Sox. And Todd Tichenor now having a shouting match with the Yankee dugout and Tony Pena. They've already lost their manager. Joe Girardi has been ejected. Here's the 3-2. Lifted back out of play. That was the 5th pitch that you see on Fox Tracks there.
And it was a strike, and it was called a ball.
Here's the 3-2. Drilled to center field. Granderson circling now. One gone here in the bottom of the 6th. And we remind you, you can vote for your Tigers McDonald's Player of the Game, presented by the Quarter Pounder with Cheese. Using your cell phone, text Tigers followed by a space, the player's uniform number to 37338, or vote online at foxsportsdetroit.com. 1 out for Bosch. Tigers at home this year are now 33-22. They've got more home wins than anybody in the Central Division. Checked it, and he went. 1 ball, 1 strike on Bosch.
Hiroki has touched 95 today with his fastball. 82 with that split finger. That fastball that he also features as his changeup.
Off the end of the bat. Chavez will charge. Backhand it. Safe. Infield hit for Bosch.
Chavez was playing very deep at third base, and by the time he got in and made the play, Brennan Bosch was crossing the bag.
Meanwhile, Austin Jackson will come in to pinch run for him, so Bosch is out of the game.
And by bringing Austin into the game in this situation, obviously he will go to center field, which puts the Tigers in the best defensive alignment.
Now Johnny Peralta. Key double back in the 5th inning for Peralta to lead things off. He then scored on the 2-run homer by Avila.
And more than likely, Q will slide over to left, and Andy Dirks will go all the way over to right field where he had played previously.
Inside to Peralta, 1-0.
Tigers now have 3 different outfielders in Dirks, and also, well, Jackson's going to stay in center field, but you have Dirks and Berry who can also play all 3 of those positions out there.
It helps. Versatility. They're all hitting as well. In there for a strike, 1-1. Getting word that rain is on the doorstep, very close here to downtown Detroit. So getting that 3 spot in the bottom of the 5th was awfully timely.
Yeah, Tigers have found themselves on the short end of the stick in Boston on that last road trip when the rain came after 5 and they were trailing and the bases were loaded.
And they finally pulled the tarp on the field and they never took it off on that night.
And really, it was a night where the game probably shouldn't have even started.
Strike called as Titchener goes up with the right hand, and the count now is 1-2 on Peralta. Tigers will fly out after this one. They're headed to Texas. They'll start a 3-game series against the Rangers.
65 degrees here in Detroit.
Yeah.
It'll be 100 when we get off that plane tonight in Texas.
Yes, it will. Here's the 1-2. Fouled off. Yankees, meanwhile, going to Toronto to continue their trip. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Peralta. Tigers won the first 2. Yankees won last night in a game started by CC Sabathia.
Phil Hughes standing there next to Sabathia. He also started a game here at Comerica Park.
And Jackson draws another throw. Three runs, 9 hits for Detroit, 2 runs, 7 hits for the Yankees. They jumped out with a 2 spot in the 2nd, and it held up until the Tigers got 3 in the 5th. .92 pitches for Kuroda, so he's approaching 100. Nobody throwing right now in the Yankee pen. And the 1-2 outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. .112 is the most that Kuroda has thrown in a start this year for the Yanks. Well, he wants his catcher Stewart to come out. Well, they talk about it. How about the matchups coming up, courtesy of Gordon Chevrolet in the 3-game series in Texas. Here's the 2-2 swing and a miss, and he finally gets Peralta. That's the second out of the inning. We'll bring up Avila. Avila hit the 2-run homer back in the 5th. 5 strikeouts for Kuroda. Avila not only gave the Tigers the lead with that 2-run shot in the 5th inning, he extended his hitting streak to 10 straight, which is too shy of his career high of 12. Missed the outside corner, 1-0.
Tigers have a couple guys with some nice hitting streaks. Jackson has a nice little hitting streak going himself.
Dirks extended his to 7. Infante is now 10. Jackson is 11. Fouled straight back. 1 ball, 1 strike. So really up and down the lineup, the Tigers have been able to get it done. And I guess the only question is now let's take this show to the road and keep the offense going there. They'll be playing in a good hitter's ballpark the next 3 days. The skipper won't need that jacket the next 3 days. 1 ball, 1 strike. Outside, 2-1 on Avila. Tigers got it started last inning with a double by Peralta. Then Avila hit one over the wall in right field. He pulled it down the right field line, and that tied it up, giving Alex his 7th home run of the year. Now Avila steps out. And Kuroda has brought this to a screeching halt here in the 6th inning. Here's the 2-1. 3-1. And should Avila reach? Tigers have Infante waiting on deck. High fly ball left field on the charge. Ibanez coming toward the line, and that'll end the inning. Tigers get a hit, strand a man. Octavio Dotel perhaps coming in the 7th.
game has had in his last 5 starts a knee buckling breaking ball, and he's buckling the knees of left-handers and right-handed batters. And when he's able to get that breaking ball over, that really opens up the door for him to spot his fastball and to get some swings and misses. So far, real nice afternoon by Doug Fister, slowing down this Yankees team, which had 18 hits yesterday.
So as we go to the 7th, Fister will answer the bell. Dotel stays in the bullpen, and it'll be Ichiro to lead it off. Suzuki, then Stewart, then Jeter. And a breaking ball is in for a strike.
Right on cue. There's that curveball.
There's a bouncing ball to first base. And fielder has it. Ichiro is out, so they keep the leadoff man off the bases. Defensive changes for the Tigers. Quentin Berry will shift to left. Jackson now the new center fielder, and Dirks goes to right. Rain starting to fall again here at the ballpark. Here's Stewart. Single, and he hit into a force. And he offers the bunt, and he takes a strike. He missed it. 1 ball and 1 strike on Stewart. Doug now has retired 5 straight since the Cano double in the 5th. Here's the 2-1. Outside, 3 balls, 1 strike. 1-run game, 3-2 Tigers. We're in the 7th. And despite all the wet stuff here this afternoon, another outstanding crowd here at the ballpark. Here's the 3-1. Ground ball foul, third base side. 3-2 on Stewart. Line drive. That is a fair ball down the left field line. It looks like extra bases. Stewart is on his way to second, and the number 9 hitter pulls in with his 2nd hit today. It's a double.
Avila wanted the sinker ball down and in, and it didn't quite get to the area where Fister wanted it, and because of that, Stewart was able to get to it. You can see Avila wants the ball in. The ball leaks right back over the heart of the plate, and it's whistled down into that left field corner by Stewart.
So the skipper will take Fister out of the ball game. It'll be a pitching change, and Doug will get a nice round of applause. Courtesy of wall side windows, the pitching change. Another good effort for Doug Fister. In the game, and some of the best in the American League. A couple of Tigers were on that list.
No surprise that Miguel Cabrera was rated as the best hitter in the American League, and likewise with Justin Verlander with the stuff that he features. And we've known since Jim Leland has taken over here in 2006 He is very, very popular among his peers.
Verlander, best pitcher, best fastball, best curveball. Cabrera, best hitter. And those that have seen him day in and day out here in the Motor City know that to be true. Meanwhile, Pfister will have his day come to an end, and he will give way to Octavio Dotel, who comes out of the Detroit bullpen.
He has done nice work this year out of that pen. 3 wins, 2 losses, lots of strikeouts, 50 of those. Does not walk very many, just 9 walks in 37 innings for Dotel.
So the 2-base hit by Stewart has given the Yankees a chance here now in the 7th inning. Tying run in scoring position, and Pfister will depart. And the Yankees will have the leadoff man coming up in Derek Jeter. In the meantime, here are some of the news and notes happening around the major leagues. Scott Bradinsky fired by the Cleveland Indians.
Ouch.
They had a, what do they have, 10 or 11 game losing streak that was recently snapped. Brett Lawrie placed on the disabled list with an oblique problem by the Blue Jays. And the wild card games will begin on October the 5th. Game 1 of the World Series will happen October the 24th as Major League Baseball has issued the playoff schedule.
Bradinsky didn't make it through the whole year.
No.
Tim Belcher was their pitching coach last year, correct?
Correct. He did not come back this year. Bradinsky does not survive. So Jeter now will stand in. Dotel trying to strand this runner. Preserve the lead. Swing and a miss. Jeter is 1 for 3. Had a single back in the 5th. Tigers have out hit the Yankees 9-8. Light rain falling here at the ballpark. Ponchos are out. Umbrellas are out. Here's the 0-1. Jeter cuts and misses. 0-2. Octavio has stranded 15 of the 18 inherited runners he has had this year. And he comes in with about 12 strikeouts per 9 innings. He could use one here with Jeter up there. Low and away, 1-2.
Dotel, Benoit, Villarreal, Verlander and Scherzer, they have done major damage in getting lots of swings and misses this year. All 5 of those guys have averaging over a strikeout an inning.
Off the end of the bat to first base. Prince has it there. And there are 2 gone. Clay Rapata now throwing in the bullpen for the New York Yankees. They finally get some action going. So the tying run now at 3rd with 2 outs. That'll bring up Swisher. For 3 for Swisher, trying to deliver the 2-out hit to tie this game. And it gets away, but not far enough. Meanwhile, Swisher had to dance out of the way.
Nice recovery by Avila to find that baseball.
Swing and a miss. 93 threw it by him, and it's 1-1. Octavio is the only active reliever besides Mariano Rivera with 50 or more wins, 100 or more saves, and 1,000 strikeouts.
Impressive company.
1-1. Fouled away. Now it's 1-2.
It also speaks to longevity. And Dotel has had a lot of that. Detroit Tigers are his 13th major league stop.
And he's one strike away from stranding that runner at third base. Swisher waiting on a 1-2. Fouled away again. Yankees have had some chances since scoring 2 in the second. We got a double in the fourth, a double in the fifth, a double here in the seventh. That's a sweet umbrella right there.
They came prepared, as did many of these fans here today.
Grounded foul.
Because right now it's just sprinkling, but they're saying that this rain's going to be here for a long time today.
Not just umbrellas, but the ponchos. Some folks don't care. They've got nothing. Not even covered.
Just enjoying a big league ball game.
Again, the 1-2. Floats outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Fisker goes 6 1/3, and now Dotel trying to strand Stewart at third base. He doubled with 1 out. Strike 3. Swisher doesn't like it. He will bark back to the bench, and the inning is over. Dotel does his job. He gets a ground ball and a strikeout, and they strand a runner at third base. Stretch time here at the ballpark. Tigers holding on to their 1-run lead. Time for the Mazda scouting report, and when we look toward the future and the final month and a half of the season here in the American League, the Tigers and the White Sox, well, it shapes up like this in the divisional race. As you look at some of the games remaining, the Tigers, Rod, will end the season with 13 straight against Minnie and KC.
Which means they'll have a perfect opportunity to go up against their own division, and obviously you can gain more ground that way, especially when you're going head-to-head with the White Sox, the team you're chasing.
So the Tigers will bring a 3-2 lead into the bottom of the 7th inning. And Omar Infante will lead it off for Detroit, showing bunt, and he looks at a strike 0-1.
Kuroda really has not made many mistakes in the game today. The Avila home run, really the only pitch that he's left over the heart of the dish. Everything else has been inside, outside, high, and low. He has not given you a lot to get loose on.
No balls and 2 strikes. David Phelps, Clay Rapata, the righty-lefty combination warming up. Here's the 0-2. Ground ball left side of the infield. Jeter ranging right. Throw is high. Safe.
That is the 3rd infield single today for Tigers hitters. Infante has 2 of those. Appears to be a routine ground ball. The captain gets in front of it. He throws it over to first base, but Omar Infante hustling out of that batter's box just beats it.
Or did he? Let's see.
He didn't.
Looked like he was out. Tony Pena is taking over for Joe Girardi, who was ejected earlier in the game. Santiago showing bunt down the first base line. And Cano covers. Sacrifice advances the runner.
Bottom of the lineup continues to get it done for Detroit on the entire homestand. Avila played long ball to right field. Then you have Dirks doubling down the left field line. The ball appeared to hit the chalk. We saw some chalk fly up, and Tim Welke, the third bench umpire, initially ruled foul, then fair. Girardi didn't appreciate it, and eventually Joe Girardi was kicked out of the game for the 3rd time this year.
So Kuroda will depart the scene here. They're going to go to the bullpen with Quentin Berry due up. Clay Rapata comes trotting in, the left-hander out of the pen for the Yanks. And the Yankees want to make sure they keep it right here. It is a 1-run spread in the 7th inning. So Kuroda gets the high fives from his teammates. And a job well done today. Now Rapata, the former Tiger, will take the baseball, and he'll begin his tune-up tosses here at the ballpark. Tigers trying to find some insurance runs here in the 7th. So as Rapata warms up, it's a perfect opportunity to bring you our Comerica game summary here this afternoon. And while the score is not quite as wild as it was last night, still some stuff happening today. 2-run homer by Alex Avila, which extends his hitting streak to 10 straight. That tied the game. Keep talking about those 6 through 9 hitters. The numbers are updated now. Look at that. 441. And Doug Fister today, Rod, pretty good.
Another quality start. 6 in a row for Fister. Looks like Berry is going to bat here. Jim could go to Delman Young if he chose to do so, but that means that Delman would have to go into the outfield, and I think Jim right now has the defensive alignment in the game with a 1-run lead that he wants in the game.
Here are the numbers on Clay Rapata.
Clay having a really good year. Sub-3 ERA. He has 5 holds, 28 strikeouts, 15 walks in 30 innings. He's only given up 2 home runs in the league, hitting just 186 against Rapata.
So here is Quentin Berry. That thing swerved in for a strike. 0-1. Tigers have only had 2 opportunities with a man in scoring position. They're 1 for 2. Yanks today just 1 for 6.
Kuroda pitched a good game.
Swing and a miss, and now it's 0-2.
Big sweeping breaking ball there from Rapata at 76 miles an hour.
So not only the lefty Berry here, but Dirks on deck. And the 0-2. That is foul tipped, and Stewart unable to hold on to it. He'll try and buy himself a little time too. He took that foul tip. Way outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Rapata was the Tiger in 07, 08, and part of 09. Before he went to Texas, Baltimore last year, with the Yankees this season. Swing and a miss, and Berry is retired. So Rapata gets his first strikeout, and there are 2 gone now for Andy Dirks.
Andy Dirks has been right in the middle of everything positive the Tigers have done on this current homestand. A couple of more hits for Dirks today. He had a couple yesterday, 3 in the opener.
Dirks' RBI double gave the Tigers the lead, which they currently enjoy 3-2. Now batting .353. Dirks has knocked in 22 this year. And who knows where his numbers would be right now had he not missed 2 months. Let's shoot that one foul back out of play. 0-2. Tigers this year were without Doug Fister early. They were without Austin Jackson for about a month. They missed Dirks for 2 months. Now Rapata's 0-2. Lifted back out of play. 10 Tigers hits today. They had 13 at last night's game. Pretty good. 273 against left-handed pitching in his career. Way outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Should Dirks reach, Cabrera waiting on deck. Fouled away. Andy doing a pretty good job of hanging in on that breaking ball from the lefty. It's fouled off a few of them. And Rapata now gets a visit from Stewart.
Mario was telling you that Rapata, when he joined the Tigers in 07, it was in a trade from the Chicago Cubs, and the player that went the other way was our very own Craig Monroe.
I didn't realize that. Here's the 1-2. Popped up shallow left field. That'll be caught by Ibanez. And so the inning is over. Tigers threaten but do not score. Let's go to the 8th. All we got forward to Miller time later in today's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Tigers and Yanks here in the final game in this series. Light rain falling here at the ballpark. And Detroit holding on to a 3-2 lead. They'll go right back to the bullpen. Dotel is out and Benoit coming in.
Pretty good numbers this year overall for Joaquin Benoit, pitching that 8th inning for the Tigers. We were talking a couple of innings ago about all the strikeouts that some of the relievers and starters have racked up, and Benoit over 1 strikeout per inning himself.
Joaquin last pitched on the 5th. A couple of home runs in a game against the Indians, that big comeback game for the Tigers. But since July 26th, he's appeared in just 2 of the 13 Tigers games. So Benoit goes back to work here in the 8th inning, and he will try and carve through the middle of the Yankees lineup. It'll be Cano, Teixeira, and Chavez. Cano has a double in this game, one of the 8 hits that the Yankees have. 3-2 Detroit. We're in the 8th. .317 batting average for Cano. And he looks at strike 1 from Benoit. Cano had a 23-game hitting streak back in June. It stretched into July. It's the longest in the American League, but the longest in baseball this year. Jose Reyes at 26. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss. 0-2 on Cano.
Threw that last 95-mile-per-hour fastball right by Robinson.
Dotel on the 7th. Benoit here in the 8th. And if it lines up that way, Valverde in the 9th. Here's the 0-2. Line foul. That'll get back into the seats. By the way, the attendance today, 40,940 on a rainy, wet afternoon in Detroit. Rain's not going to keep them away. Nope. Oh, 0-2. And he pulls that one to second. Santiago. Cano is out, 1 away. So they keep the leadoff man off the bases, and now it'll be Teixeira, who has had no luck against Benoit in his career. 0 for 6, couple of strikeouts. Teixeira, a couple of ground balls to second and a strikeout. 0 for 3. And Benoit missing outside. Now the count goes to 2-0. Twice in this game, Teixeira has hit the ball right into that shift, right to Santiago, who's playing in short right field. They continue to play that shift. Driven down the right field line. That ball is up, and we are tied. A line drive home run for Mark Teixeira Another long ball served up by Benoit, and now it's 3-3. An absolute bullet out of here quickly.
That is the one blemish on Joaquin Benoit's numbers this year. That is the 10th home run he's given up. And that's a 96-mile-per-hour fastball that's not located where you need to locate it. It's right down the middle, and Teixeira has done a lot of this over the years, trotting around the bases.
That is his 21st of the year. It's now a 3-3 game. And there's a high drive into deep left field. This one might get out of here, and it's gone.
Really?
Back-to-back home runs. Benoit again gives up 2. Chavez goes the other way, and the Yankees have taken the lead.
Since Joaquin Benoit went to Tampa right before the All-Star break and gave up a couple home runs late in that game down there in Tampa, it was a Saturday game. He's been giving up quite a few.
Right into the glove of Valverde, who is warming up in the bullpen.
He's sitting down now.
Teixeira rooting for back-to-back homers, and he got his wish. They tie it up on the Teixeira homer. They take the lead on the Chavez homer. There's a strike called on Curtis Granderson.
The Yankees scored the majority of their runs on home runs. Better than 50% of the total runs this year have come on homers. 172 of those.
It'll bounce in. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And the man standing in the batter's box is responsible for 30 of those home runs.
8 times the Yankees now have gone back-to-back this year in home runs. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss. 1-2 on Granderson. Tigers, before the back-to-back home runs, had retired 8 of the previous 9. Fister will get a no decision today. That's fouled off. 1-2. The count stays on Granderson. It was Hafner and Carrera in the game on the 5th who went back-to-back, and now it's Teixeira and Chavez. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Curtis Granderson. It's really unbelievable what Chavez has done in this series. He now has 9 hits. He's hit a couple of home runs.
Both home runs to left field, too.
There's popped up foul, back out of play. And so each team now with 10 hits. 9 for 16. 5 RBIs. And with Alex Rodriguez out of the lineup, hasn't meant a whole lot in this series because Chavez has filled in admirably offensively.
Yeah, you think he'd be catching a break with no Rodriguez. But Chavez has played like A-Rod when A-Rod's going good.
Granderson in this game, couple of punch outs and a pop up, all 3 of those at bats against the starter Doug Fister. And the 2-2. Checked it high. They want the appeal. Didn't go. 3-2 the count. Ibanez waiting on deck. Benoit retired the first man he faced, but then back-to-back home runs. And there's a walk inside.
Hey fans, follow the Tigers with the MLB.com at bat 12 for your iPhone, iPad, Android, and Windows Mobile. Get live audio pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text at bat to 31826 or visit Tigers.com for details.
Darren Downs, the left-hander, beginning to tune up in the Detroit bullpen. Jeff Jones, the pitching coach, out to have a chat with Benoit. Yankees had not scored since getting 2 runs in the second. They've added 2 here in the 8th to jump into the lead 4-3. So here is Raul Ibanez. He had a big game, tripled and run early, doubled, did not score back in the 4th. And it's a ball outside.
Curtis Granderson is looking like he was entertaining the thought of trying to swipe a bag here in the 8th.
Eight steals this year for Grandy. He's been caught 3 times.
Not running nearly as much as he used to run when he was wearing a Tigers uniform. But I guess when you have all the guys in the lineup that can hit the ball at the ballpark, the last thing you want, if you're the manager, Joe Girardi, is to run yourself into outs.
Well, Granderson last year had 25 swipes. The most he stole in a season with the Tigers was 26. Two balls, 1 strike on Raul Ibanez. With 2 runs in, Yankees have the lead. It's way outside. Now the count goes to 3-1.
Talked about Benoit and his numbers this year. All very good numbers. But he has given up 11 homers in 49 and 2/3 innings.
That is the most of any American League reliever. There's a hard hit ball to second base on the backhand. Santiago relay, double play. 4-6-3. Couple of runs though on the home runs. However, the big boys are coming up for the Tigers. Cabrera, fielder. He'll get things started in the bottom of the 8th. Our scores, we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. The home runs has given the Yankees the lead, and from the 7th inning and beyond, here are the two guys that you want up there. Both Cabrera and Fielder have done marvelous work.
Well, hopefully they can get it going here in the 8th inning for their squad.
So Sharon and Chavez going back to back, giving the Yankees the lead. Now they will go to their bullpen, and David Phelps comes in for New York.
Pretty good ERA for David Phelps in 21 games, 245, 56 strikeouts, and 51 1/3. And David Robertson apparently threw too many pitches last night. Therefore, it is Phelps that will try to set up for their closer, Soriano.
Won't be easy for Phelps. Cabrera stands in. He is 1 for 3 today with a single. And now batting .323. Ball inside 1-0.
They have aggressively pitched Miguel right there all afternoon long. Good firm fastballs inside.
Robertson in last night's ball game out of their bullpen threw 35 pitches. And missed inside. 2-0 the count on Cabrera. Light rain still falling here at the ballpark. It has been for the last couple of innings. Way inside, and the count goes to 3-0. That's in for a strike. Fielder waiting on deck. He got under that one into shallow left field. Meanwhile, Ibanez going to have to charge to come in. He was almost on the warning track. Cabrera's out, one gone. We'll bring up Prince Fielder. Here's something to think about. The Yankees have lost their last 8 consecutive one-run games. They are leading by a single run here. As Fielder strolls in, he's 1 for 3. And a big out for Phelps. After falling behind 3-0 on Cabrera, he gets ahead of Fielder 0-1. In there for a strike, and now 0-2 on Prince. Each team with 10 hits today. Here's the 0-2. It almost hit him, but it did get the catcher, Stewart.
Both catchers have taken a beating here today. The umpire also had a ball get up underneath his mask, and Kevin Rand had to go out and check on him real early in this game.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Back up the middle into center. Prince has his second hit of the day, and the tying run is on. So now here's Jackson, who gets his first at bat after coming on as a pinch runner for Bosch in the 6th. Tigers now have their 11th hit. .318 batting average for Jackson. Ooh, what happened there? A balk. How about that? Tying run in scoring position.
Don't know if Phelps' spikes got caught or he just lost his balance.
Wow. Looked like his back leg buckled a bit. See his knee?
He slipped on the mound, it looks like. Look at that right foot right there.
Oh, that's a bad break. Good break for the Tigers. Now the tying run in scoring position for Jackson. Ball one away. Phelps pitching in the big leagues for the first time this year. And he missed outside again. 2 balls, no strikes.
Of the arms that are in the outfield right now, the only one that Gene Lamont needs to be concerned with is probably Ichiro Suzuki in right field. Granderson has an adequate arm, although it's very difficult to throw runners out from center field. And Ibanez in left field is not an above average thrower. Don't forget, as soon as this game ends, our coverage will continue with Tigers Live. You will hear from the manager, Jim Leland, and the players. We'll break the game down, show you all the highlights. Tigers Live immediately after the game here on Fox Sports Detroit.
Soriano is up in their bullpen. He's kind of checking things out right now. He came into the ball game last night. Tigers down by a run. We're in the bottom of the 8th. 4-3. They have a man at second and 1 out. Two out to Jackson. Fly ball. Right field, not deep. Ichiro coming in. And fielder going nowhere. 2 gone. It's going to bring up Peralta. It's also going to bring out Tony Pena, and that's going to be it for Phelps. They're going to go right back to the bullpen. And apparently bring their closer in now with 2 outs in the 8th inning. So Phelps gives up the baseball, upset with himself for the slip that put the runner in scoring position.
Well, just like we promised you earlier in the game, it is Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. And Alex Avila back in the 5th inning after a Peralta double. Hit a 3-2 pitch into the outfield, well, into the seats for a 2-run home run off Hiroki Kuroda, the starter of the New York Yankees this afternoon.
That tied the game at 2. Tigers took the lead on a Dirks double later in the inning, and then the Yankees responded with back-to-back homers in the 8th. And as Soriano comes in, we have a moment. Let's go back to the Call Sam studios and Justin White. Yankees and Rafael Soriano coming in.
A couple of years ago when they signed Rafael Soriano to a free agent contract, they brought him in to basically be the setup man, but they paid him closer type money. Well, he's earning that money these days with 26 saves and 28 opportunities and an ERA under 2.
So here is Peralta to face him, trying to deliver the game tying run. And Johnny bends away from a bender, and it's in for a strike. 0-1. Peralta had a big double starting things off in the 5th inning that got the Tigers offense rolling. 1 for 3, trying to pick up Prince Fielder. And Soriano missed outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Yankees will have some save opportunities, and Soriano has picked up 26 of them. Among the league leaders, how about Fernando Rodney leading the way? Former Tiger with 34. Fly ball, right field. Ichiro going back, still going back to the track. He'll reach up at the wall and make the catch. And so Soriano comes in, gets the out. Tigers strand a runner, and we go to the 9th. Dry, so to speak. They've spread some of the down and dry around home plate and around the pitching mound. 4-3 is our score as we go to the 9th inning. And the Yankees now will face the Tigers closer, Jose Valverde.
And Valverde is pitching in his 48th game this year. Has won 3 games, has lost just a couple, blown 4 saves, but has 22 total. And the last couple of years has racked up quite a few saves for the Tigers.
Well, let's see. We pick up about 35 degrees once we leave the ballpark tonight and head to Texas. It'll be a 3-game series starting in Arlington tomorrow night. Here are the pitching matchups for that series.
You got Scherzer, you got Feldman, you got Verlander, you got Derek Holland, the very talented left-hander who has spent some time on the disabled list this year. And Yu Darvish, when going up against teams for the 2nd and 3rd times, he hasn't pitched all that well this year.
So we'll see how the Tigers are able to handle a good Texas team who's in a battle of their own over in the American League West.
Out of all the starters that are going to be going in that weekend series, Justin Verlander is the only one with an ERA under 3. The other 5 had ERAs over 4.
By the way, Rod, it's 65 here, right?
You're right.
And guess what it is in Arlington right now as we speak?
102.
Keep going.
Oh, really?
Keep going.
105.
Bingo.
Oh, wait till the sun go down.
Can't wait. So let's go to the 9th, and it'll be Ichiro to lead it off against Valverde. And it's in for a strike, 0-1. Ichiro, then Stewart, then Jeter facing Jose. 4-3 New York as they try and escape town with a split with the Tigers in this series. Ichiro backs out of there and looks at a ball inside. 1-1.
Real nice gesture, however, by our bosses, though, to allow us to wear golf shirts for the next 3 days while we're in Texas.
Boy, you're not kidding.
Can't thank them enough for that.
You know, if they're giving us 3 days in Texas.
Don't go there.
You don't want me to
baby steps.
Here's the 1-1. There's a strike called at the outer edge. 1-2 on Ichiro. Big inning for Valverde. He's got to keep this a one-run game, and of course Jose has not been nearly as good in safe situations over the past couple of years as he has been in non-safe situations. And the 1-2. Bouncing ball to short. Johnny on the charge. Off balance throw. Got him. Out by maybe half a step. One gone.
When that ball is hit to you in the infield and Ichiro Suzuki is running down the line, you know that you've got to hurry and get the ball over to Prince. And that's exactly what Peralta does here. He just did get him, too.
Good call by Tony Randazzo. 1 out. Here is Chris Stewart. Had himself a 1-out double in the 7th, but they stranded him at third base. A couple of hits today for the Yankees catcher. In there for a strike. The Detroiters will have Avila, Infante, Santiago, 7, 8, 9 due up in the bottom of the 9th. And while you may think, well, that's the bottom of the lineup, they have done major damage in this series. Driven down the left field line. It is hooking, and that ball is foul. That would not have been good. Stewart very nearly put a capper on a big day. As it turned out, way foul. Just missed. 1-2.
It's a nice job by Avila grabbing that ball and then trying to pull it back up, but couldn't get the call from the home plate umpire, Todd Tishner.
That one way outside, and the count now is 2 balls, 2 strikes on Stewart. Derek Jeter waiting on deck. Yankees spreading out their offense in this one today. 2 in the 2nd and 2 in the 8th. Kuroda and Pfister, both starters, pitched really well today. And the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Stewart is out. 2 gone. He's going to bring up Derek Jeter. Single to the 5th, his only hit 11 times in his career. Jeter has hit over 300 in a season. 7 times he's gone over 200 hits. Trying to get something started here in the 9th with 2 outs. And he takes ball 1 inside. Jeter hits a ground ball to third. Infante's throw is high. Jeter is on his way to second, and he'll put himself in a scoring position on the high throw by Infante. The Tigers have committed the game's first error. Now, hopefully it won't score.
Omar just dropped down to a sidearm angle, and that ball just kind of sailed on him. And Prince couldn't get high enough to help him.
It'll bring up Swisher with Jeter at second base and 2 outs. Swisher is hitless today. He has struck out twice. And he lines one. Oh, what a play at first by Fielder.
Look out, Prince.
He saved a run. Prince with a sprawling play at first base.
It doesn't get much better than that at that position.
And so we go to the bottom of the ninth. It's still a 1-run game. Brought to you by Comerica Bank. Strength and stability since 1849. Your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com. See why Chevy drives the Motor City. And by Wallside Windows. Like us on Facebook and enter the contest for a chance to win great prizes. Well, the Tigers have it right in front of them. They're down by a run. As we go to the bottom of the ninth inning, great play by Prince Fielder saving a run, so it stays a 1-run game. And now Soriano will go to work against the bottom 3 in the Tigers lineup. Avila will lead it off, and then it's Infante, and then it's Santiago.
Soriano does have 1 save this year where he got more than 3 outs. Yeah, but it's not very often where managers ask their closers to go out and pitch multiple innings.
He had to come on in the 8th inning with a man at second base and 2 outs, and he got Johnny Peralta. Soriano had 45 saves a couple of years ago, the 2010 season in Tampa. There's a drive toward left field, sinking, base hit, fair ball, extra bases. Avila digging towards second, and the throw is not in time. It's a double. That's a way to start it.
Alex Avila flipped one down the left field line. Ibanez in left field was playing very deep. They're playing no doubles depth, which means that Joe Girardi does not want anything hit over the outfielders' heads. And Avila was able to hit one in front of Ibanez and get himself a sliding double.
Meanwhile, Gerald Laird will come out of the dugout. He'll pinch run for Avila, so Alex's day is over, but he's had 2 huge hits in this game. Laird the tying run. He's at second. That'll bring up Omar Infante. Couple of singles today for Omar. They're in tight at third in case he's thinking bunt. Instead, it's a base hit to right. They're going to hold Laird at third base, and the Tigers have the winning run on. 3 hits for Omar.
After the Tigers acquired Infante from the Miami Marlins, he went 2 for his first 17 at-bats. But he has been getting a lot of hits in this series, really in the homestand.
It's 12 hits in the homestand for Infante. 12. Here's Santiago, tying run at third, winning run at first. And he looks at a strike. Thirteen Tigers hits. Soft line drive caught by Cano at second base. That's a big out for Soriano, 1 away. So the tying run remains at third base. Now Quentin Berry. Berry is 0 for 4 with the run scored. Quentin's batting .380 with men in scoring position this year. Laird is the tying run, the pinch runner down at third. Infante is the winning run at first base. Fouled back out of play. %,
for Quentin Berry. 9 of 15 at getting that runner in from third, less than 2 outs. And maybe he can slap one right past the third baseman, Chavez, who was even with the bag down at third base.
The 0-1. Listed inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Soriano came on to get the final out of the 8th. Gave up a double and a single here in the 9th. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Berry. Off the inside part of the plate. 2-2. Soriano stoic right now, but he wanted that last call. Dirk's on deck.
His expression never changes.
Ever. There it is. It'll stay that way. Here's the 2-2. Popped him up. Left side of the infield. Jeter comes over to make the catch, and there are 2 gone. So that's going to bring up Dirks. Well, they set the table, but until now, unable to drive in a run, and maybe Dirks can get it done with 2 outs. Andy hits nearly 400 this year with men in scoring position, 390.
Well, Andy knows he's going to get something good to hit. That much is for sure. You know, with the guy standing in the on-deck circle.
Dirks a couple of hits, a single, and an RBI double, trying to tie this one up with a 2-out hit. And it's in the air to center field. Granderson coming hard, and the Yankees will hold on and split the series. Boy, Soriano pitched out of a huge mess here in the 9th inning.
That he did.
So the Tigers come close, but they're not able to push across the tying run, and they drop this one 4-3 and finish up the series with 2 wins, 2 losses against the Yanks. Back with more from Comerica.